It's the big day. Prince Harry will be marrying Meghan Markle, or as they're known as the Duke and Duchess of Sussex now, at St. George's Chapel in Windsor in a few hours from now. The Queen has given the titles of a Duke to Prince Henry. His title will be Duke of Sussex, Earl of Dumbarton and Baron Kilkeel. Meghan Markle has been given the title of Royal Highness, the Duchess of Sussex by the Queen. Fans of the royal family have been camping outside the venue for days now. They were in for a major surprise when the groom and his brother made an unexpected appearance. Prince Harry and William did a walkabout outside the Windsor Castle on the eve of the royal wedding. Prince Harry was greeted by his well-wishers and he spent nearly 10 minutes chatting to the crowd.
Exciting. I've come to other royal events. I was here for Edward and Sophie's wedding. I went to Princess William and Catherine's wedding, and this evening I got to shake Prince William's hand. So I'm very happy. I've been to events in New Zealand where he's been there, and I've been in the front row, and he's moved one person along and shook their hand. So yes, it was very exciting after many years of following them. Yeah.
Ollie Barrett now joining us live from Windsor Castle. Ollie, can you give us a sense of what's really happening there?
Well, it's still early morning here in Windsor, but the town is very, very busy indeed already. You can see people streaming up here from the direction of Eton, where Harry went to school, towards Windsor Castle behind me. Many of the invited guests have been instructed to get here several hours ahead of the wedding itself. There's obviously a huge security operation in place, and those people need to get through those security cordons to get into the grounds of Windsor Castle for the event, but also tens of thousands of people arriving in the town of Windsor to line the streets leading around the castle. That's partly because after the event itself they want to get a glimpse of Harry and Meghan, who will go through the streets of Windsor on an ancient carriage pulled by horses. You referenced that little walkabout that we saw from William and Harry overnight. Many of the people on the streets of Windsor have been here for several days, camping out, spending their nights in the cold British springtime, exactly so that they could potentially get to have a few words with or get close to Prince Harry ahead of his big day. And many of the people arriving in Windsor now are coming for precisely that reason. They want to get a glimpse of the newlyweds later on.
Right, Ollie, also the Royal Palace has made the announcement of the royal titles as the Duke and the Duchess of Sussex is how they'll be known.
That's exactly right, and that was speculated that might be the title that they would be given. This is royal tradition that on the wedding day these titles are handed down. Of course, Meghan can't be a princess because she's being married into the family, the royal family, not born into the family. So we saw that with William and Kate as well. They became the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge. So Sussex, the Sussexes will be the how we refer to Harry and Meghan after their wedding here in Windsor. As I say, this is royal tradition. When you get to the wedding day, the Queen hands down a new title, and Duke and Duchess of Sussex it will be.
Ollie, again, we do believe that they've chosen the words that they will speak to each other from the marriage services, from common worship, and Meghan Markle, the Duchess of Sussex, now will not promise to obey Prince Harry as is in the past?
That's right, and neither did William and Kate use those words at their wedding back in 2011. Certainly the service, in terms of the details we know about it so far, appears to be a pretty modern affair by royal standards. We will get some gospel music, we will hear some more modern hymns than perhaps we've been used to at royal events in the past. They won't just be traditional English and British hymns that are sung inside the church. So I think Harry and Meghan trying to reflect the modernity that they represent in the service that we're going to see in Windsor later on.
Just taking up from your last thought there of modernity, apparently they will be using more contemporary language that we use. It'll be you, not thou and thee.
That's exactly right. And as I say, Harry and Meghan clearly keen to reflect the modernity that they represent inside the royal family, but also the modernity, the diversity of the United Kingdom. Meghan Markle, of course, being American herself, that represents a relatively new departure for the British royal family as well. She describes herself too as biracial. That is an important element, a significant moment for the royal family today, that extra diversity in the family, which, as I say, represents a very diverse country, the United Kingdom, as it currently is. So lots about this day will be different, will be modern, will be new. Lots, of course, will be incredibly traditional and reflect the hundreds of years of tradition of this family. Windsor Castle, of course, the residence really of the Queen. She has Buckingham Palace in London and various other residences up and down the UK, but Windsor Castle really is where she feels at home and where she spends a lot of her time. So important as well that Harry is getting married in the grounds of Windsor Castle at St George's Chapel, just over that wall behind me, a place he knows very well from his upbringing. And as I say, just over the bridge there is Eton, the town with the school, Eton, in which he attended when he was a child. So lots about today. Echoes early periods of Harry's life, but clearly, of course, Harry and Meghan trying to throw forward to the future as well.
Ollie Barrett, you were talking about tradition. Well, one tradition that will be missing, as has been reported, is the Duchess of Sussex's father, who had to have a heart surgery recently.
That's right. There was a lot of toing and froing about whether Thomas Markle would attend or not. It was finally confirmed towards the end of the week that Thomas Markle wouldn't be here, with health reasons being cited. Meghan Markle describing her sadness that her father wouldn't be in attendance because she had asked him to walk her down the aisle. When it became clear that Thomas Markle wouldn't be coming, there was, of course, a huge amount of speculation about who would walk Meghan down the aisle, if anyone. She did, we're told by the palace, ask Prince Charles to take on those duties. So it will be her soon-to-be father-in-law who will walk her down the aisle in St George's Chapel. Of course, her mother will be on hand at the service as well. They spent the night together in a hotel just a few miles away from Windsor in Berkshire. And so a family element for Meghan, but not with her father in attendance as she had hoped.
Ollie Barrett, tell us a little bit more about the people who will be present there, the who's who.
Well, the senior royals will all be in attendance. We've had it confirmed that Prince Philip will be there. The grandfather of Harry, the husband of the Queen, despite his advanced years, let's put it that way, well into the latter stages of his 90s, but he will be there, as will the Queen, as will Prince William, Harry's brother, his wife Kate, the Duchess of Cambridge. Their two children will be page boy and page girl, among the page boys and page girls that will be involved in the service today. In terms of other guests, Harry and Meghan have been very clear that this is not the type of event at which they wanted to invite dignitaries, politicians, leaders from all around the world. These are their friends and their family who are coming to this service today. But also on top of that, they've invited 1,200 people who they want to recognise for charity work in the community. There are also relatives of people who died in the Manchester bomb attack, for example. There are people who survived the Manchester bomb attack who are being welcomed to the castle today. They will have a picnic area in the grounds of the castle, but just away from the chapel itself, so that they can be involved in the day, if not actually inside St George's Chapel itself.
And will also the people who the Duke of Sussex served with in operations in Afghanistan, will they also be present?
That's right. Some of those people, his former colleagues in the forces, will be present. Certainly that will be reflected today. Members of his regiment will be here, but also we may well see him reflecting his military service in what he wears during the service in St George's Chapel later on. It's an important part of Harry's life. He's made that very clear on a regular occasion. He has now moved to a period of his life where he's taking on more royal duties. That is the direction that he's going to be moving in the future, but he does regularly reference his time in the military, and of course he's devoted much of his career post-military to helping people who have been affected in some way by military service, who've been injured or who have had mental health issues as a result of their service in the armed forces. So that will be an important part of the day today for Harry, no doubt.
Ollie Barrett, thanks for updating us live from the Windsor Castle just hours before the ceremony begins. So it's just a few hours when Prince Harry, who's now the Duke of Sussex, and Meghan Markle, the Duchess of Sussex, will be taking their vows. So it's not just a big day for only the couple, but the guests of honor too. Indian actor Priyanka Chopra is there, a close friend of Meghan Markle. Priyanka Chopra is one of the bridesmaids. We're building up in the hours to the actual wedding ceremony, and the royal titles have been announced. The Queen has in fact conferred a dukedom on Prince Henry of Wales. His titles will be Duke of Sussex, Earl of Dumbarton and Baron Kilkeel. Prince Harry thus becomes His Royal Highness the Duke of Sussex, and Meghan Markle, on marriage, will become Her Royal Highness the Duchess of Sussex. We believe close to 100,000 people have gathered outside Windsor Castle and will be viewing the actual ceremony on big screens, as well as some part of the ceremony when the royal couple comes out. In the India connection, as we said, Priyanka Chopra will be one of the bridesmaids. She is a close friend of Meghan Markle, the soon-to-be Duchess of Sussex. People gathering outside Windsor Castle, where the ceremony will take place in just a few hours from now. You're seeing those live pictures from outside Windsor Castle. Also joining us live from the newsroom is Akanksha Swarup. Akanksha, we have a peek into what's happening through Priyanka Chopra.
Absolutely, Amitav. Thank you. So, yes, while the entire world is awaiting the wedding of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, Indians certainly are rooting for Priyanka Chopra, who is amongst the few elite attendees at the royal wedding. As we all know, that even political senior heads of states have not been invited to this wedding, but it is India's very own Priyanka Chopra who is a part of this wedding. And Priyanka, of course, has completely grabbed the opportunity of informing her fans about her plans for the wedding. It was just 12 hours ago that we saw Priyanka arriving in UK, where she mentioned that I'm welcomed by the UK sun, no makeup, no filter. So you can see that's the first image that roughly 12 hours ago Priyanka Chopra posted on her Instagram handle, where she's talking about her visit to UK. She's already in UK. She's established that. Moving over to this next image that she shared, which was roughly 8 hours ago, you can see she's flanked by a host of family members and friends of Meghan Markle, and she says the shenanigans 12:10 a.m. the morning off and still waiting for the dress. So you can completely, get a peek of the wedding preparations over here. Priyanka seems to be extremely elated. She's giggling over there, and she's completely, flanked by all her family members. And as we can see, that the preparations of the wedding are in full swing. Now let's also run you through this video that she has posted today, and you can see these are all fascinators. Let me tell you, fascinators are sort of hats which women wear, and it's a part of the dress code at the royal wedding. And earlier also Priyanka had mentioned that she was pretty confused about the fascinators, and this is the designer's photograph that she had just shared, who is helping her out. She's a celebrity designer who's helping her out with the fascinators, and Priyanka seems to have finally finally found a fascinator for herself. It's also important to establish the relationship that Meghan Markle and Priyanka Chopra share. It was back in January 2016 that Meghan and Priyanka for the first time met at LA's celebration dinner for women in TV, and it was just at the first moment they just hit it off, and they were both shooting in Canada that time, and since then the rest has been history. It was recently that Priyanka Chopra also wrote out a piece for Meghan Markle in Times magazine when Meghan Markle was enlisted as one of the successful women by Times magazine. Priyanka had spoken about her relationship and her bonding that she shares with Meghan, and how Meghan is also a terrific human being, and that she will only, be the perfect match for Prince Harry. Apart from that, we also know that she and Meghan have spoken to various publications and talk shows about each other. It was at Jimmy Fallon's show that Priyanka spoke about Meghan Markle, where she said that, they share a very close bonding, but she's been the perfect friend because she has refused to divulge any details. Over to you, Amitabh.
Well, we're still waiting for all those juicy details to come out as and when the wedding ceremony starts, and that countdown to the royal wedding slowly inching towards its last leg, and every minute detail is being given an extra care. But the royal wedding cake, perhaps the most integral of all preparations, has become the talk of the town. A glimpse now for how the royal wedding cake breaks the tradition this time around.
It took 6 bakers 5 days to prepare the royal wedding cake. However, it's not just the cake that's grabbing eyeballs. The fact that it breaks with royal tradition for the first time makes it all the more special. The couple has decided to not go for the royal tradition of fruit cake. Instead, they've chosen lemon and elderflower creation with a buttercream icing, topped with fresh flowers. But what influenced the choice of the royal couple? Well, they preferred this as they wanted the flavors specific to the season. The cake's designer, Claire Patak, who considers the opportunity a dream come true, calls the cake more of an installation than a typical wedding cake. Claire's team has been busy putting the final touches to the quintessentially spring and British wedding cake for the prince and the American TV star. The cake also bears royal couple's personal touch as they helped choose the right floral flavor after several tastings. Meghan Markle chanced upon the baker par excellence when she interviewed her for her former food and lifestyle blog, The Tig, which she shut down as she made a mark in the American TV industry. And for those wishing to catch a glimpse, 3 cakes of various sizes will be transported to Windsor, displayed in the form of an installation. Though the royal couple hasn't yet tasted the final product, the bakers believe it would leave the couple wanting for more. Bureau Report, WION.
And it's not just Britain. Fans in India are excited about the royal wedding as well. The famous tiffin carriers of Mumbai, also known as the Dabbawalas, have brought a wedding attire for the couple. They feel a special bond with the royal family ever since Prince Charles met them during his last visit to India and invited them to his wedding to Camilla.
तो अपने दोस्त की बेटी की शादी है, तो हमने मुंबई के डब्बावाले ने सोचा कि उस शादी में कुछ त्योहार अपन भी देना चाहिए, गिफ्ट देना चाहिए। तो हम मुंबई के डब्बे वाले लाल बाग में आए हैं, समर्थ कलेक्शन में आए हैं। यहाँ पे मराठी लोग जो शादी में ड्रेस पहनते हैं, मराठी वधू जो होती है, जो खास करके पैठनी साड़ी पहनती है, वो साड़ी हमने यहाँ पे ली है। और वर के लिए सलवार कुर्ता जो होता है वो हमने लिया है। यानी मराठी लोग जो ड्रेस पहनते हैं वो ड्रेस हमने यहाँ पे लिया है, और वो लंदन में हम उनको गिफ्ट देने वाले हैं।
Students of an art school created a mural of the royal couple to wish them on their big day. The students hope that the couple will begin the new phase of their life by helping the poor across the globe. The school had earlier created and sent another artwork to Buckingham Palace after the deadly terrorist attacks in Manchester and London in 2017. In return, the school authorities received a thank you letter from the Queen's office.
It's a very special day for all of us as Prince Harry and Meghan Markle get married, and we really hope that as they start with their journey, They help the poor and the needy all over the world.
Meanwhile, the Indian wing of the animal rights group PETA has gifted the couple with a framed photograph of a rescued bull as a present for their wedding. The bull has been named Mary, a hybrid of Meghan and Harry.